Yeah. All right, I'm coming back. Yep is back. Welcome, Yep. Yep. Welcome, XXX. All right, people are coming back. If you would, go ahead. Thank you very much. So CN, was that just someone trolling me that said that? Because I've been booted here twice, but it just booted me. It just booted me and then said you can't come back for 7 days. I never got anything like that. Okay. All right, that's fine. I figured that, but like because I'm so far behind on my things, like I didn't know what it was. Oh, those are trolls. Okay, good. Great. All right. Thank you, people. It's again, this is like, remedial old guy TikTok lessons. Anyway, go ahead and tap the screen. Let's get some likes going, and maybe you can share the live so people can do it. Thanks for the rose. That's great. Those are trolls. No, I didn't know those were trolls because it looked like it had a TikTok icon, but I guess someone could just put a TikTok icon there. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. What are you gonna do? We'll have a more intimate regrouping because what did we get up to? We were up to like 130 people there for a while, so maybe we'll get some more people. Go ahead and tap the screen, share the live. Let me know. Encourage more viewers to share. Yeah, viewers, share. Would you? Would you share? Would you do that? Would you help an old man? All I've ever wanted was a TikTok following. I came on the TikTok. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be loved. Can I be loved? Won't you share this live? Oh yeah, there's like 163 people here. Holy crap. Okay. When I'm talking like an idiot, it's one of the things that makes me happy that people are like scrolling through TikTok and there's just this weird ass old man going, yes, I was hoping that people would like me someday. Yes. But anyway, thank you. I'm supposed to call it the Tickety Talk. Yeah, welcome to the Tickety Talk. Sally, how do I turn off the Tickety Talk? I see my face again. What do I do? I don't want to see my face. It scares me. Have you seen my hair? Sally? Yeah, exactly. All right. Love your energy. Thank you very much. You'll be permanently banned. That's a shitty troll. All right. Because I didn't do anything, and if they were going to boot me, they'd have just booted me. All right, I'll get there. I'll figure this out. Anyway, tell me, is prompt engineering an actual job? It is, and it's not, and it's going to be, and it's not. So, it's a job for any company trying to figure out what the fuck to do with AI. They need people that understand how to talk to these tools. And right now, these tools are so... The troll one, at least temporarily. I know. Let's go back to the content. What content was I doing? Tell me what content I was doing, and I'll go back to it. Because I got thrown. I was like, they're going to pay me permanently. I can't lose my tickety-tockety. Elder Talk. This is it. Welcome. Old guys trying to twerk. That notification that'll get you banned is a troll account. Those sons of bitches. We can go back to prompt engineering as a job. Let's go back to the content. I don't know what the content was, so tell me what the content was. Was there content? I know, that's where I am, Emilio's wife. I don't think there was content. Where you talk about the cost. Oh, okay. So I was talking about... Okay, so if you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. These URLs here are just here really for it's like a public service announcement. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, go to chat.openai.com. That's the official website of ChatGPT. Just go there and start playing. And if you don't know what to do there, go to prompts.chat, and that's a document that will tell you how to do it. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't make money. I don't give a shit. Anyway, okay. So what we were talking about before was, someone asked about how much is what do I think the server cost is, or the hosting cost. It's tremendously expensive to do for us to be able to play with these. We are in a very, 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 very lucky position as non people working at these companies to have access to these tools. The fact that ChatGPT went from 0 to 100 million users in 6 weeks, starting last November, changed everything, right? Microsoft was not expecting it to be that popular. OpenAI was not expecting it to be that popular. Google was certainly not expecting it to be that popular. But when it did what it did, everyone started taking this seriously. Microsoft went from $1 billion to $10 billion and basically said, we're going to support this thing. And we're going to... The interesting thing about Microsoft as compared to Google, so Google, all they have is their ad revenue. They've got their search ad revenue. Microsoft has their entire software product suite that they're incorporating ChatGPT into. So they've got a completely different way to monetize it. And the CEO of Microsoft has said he's willing to lose money on ChatGPT as part of Bing to fuck with Google. And he said it with some glee. He didn't use those words, but that's what he was saying. And also, they're going to be able to monetize this through, an additional monthly charge for Office 365 and for Windows and for all the Azure cloud services. So they're going to make their money back on the business services and the consulting and all that other shit that they do. So they can take a loss leader on this front. But the fact that it got so popular is why everyone is sort of piling onto this AI stuff, why it's got so much hype. It's also, I think, the reason that Meta let their llama model out into the wild. Really interesting move there. They said it was a mistake. It was a leak. It wasn't really a leak. They're like, well, we gave it to a few developers. We didn't think they'd give it to everyone. What are we to do? But I think that was on purpose. But all of this is all of these companies now going, we've got AI. Oh, we're going to be leaders too. We've got a big model. We've got a bigger model. All that panic is because of ChatGPT. But the question was, how expensive is it? Really fucking expensive. Now, one of the cool things about the fact that Meta released all their large language models, that the base, called what are called the weights, basically the secret sauce. The fact that they released those into the world, the developer community, the open source community is pouncing all over these things. And they're now able to train for about $100 in compute cost and get results almost as good as Google doing a foundational large language model that takes 6 months and $10 million. The developer community is getting those things to similar levels of performance for $100. So it's fucking wild. It is insane right now. It really is just nuts. So anyway, if you're new here, put any questions or comments or thoughts or maybe even something you're trying to work on in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm going to flip cameras here and pause so I don't break, but I'll show you these. Oh, we don't have that many people here. So go play with those URLs over there while you listen to me ramble. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, it's actually really important for all of us. And I believe that deep in my soul. When will Microsoft integrate GPT into Office? I would assume as soon as they're ready. Microsoft is they're fucking acting like Apple. Like I've hated Microsoft for decades. I was a Microsoft basher for fucking decades. We used to make fun of them in the early days of the World Wide Web. I had this group I started called the World Wide Web Artists Consortium, and we would meet at the Sony headquarters in New York City, and Sony gave us this. It was this conference. It was this boardroom, but it sat 200 people. It was this massive square table, and we'd all sit around this table. It was 100 people would sit around the table, and another 100 were around them. And we would have industry people come in, and they would present new web technologies. And every time Microsoft came in, we just fucking annihilated them. Fucking annihilated them. They were just hated. But what they're doing with this ChatGPT and with OpenAI is it's fucking brilliant. So probably as soon as they can. being Microsoft, they're not gonna release something that hasn't been really well thought out. And I think how you actually integrate the Copilot into Excel is going to be different than how you do it in Word. And is it always there? Is it like Clippy that just fucking shows up and annoys you? Like they seem to. I don't know what's going on with their product development over there, but their product development seems to have gotten sort of a step change better than it's ever been. Like their interface and their product has always been just over bloated horse shit, right? We all have to use it because it all does what we need it to do, but like it's just been bad. What's been happening lately is they've been introducing these new tools. Like it feels like they've got some new product person there or product team there that's dramatically improving things. So as soon as it's ready, I'm sure they want to get it out before Google does. And I think they will. So I'm guessing fall, September, October. I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue. But I want it. I wanted Code Interpreter, and we got Code Interpreter. Yeah! How much does it cost for all these big computers? Like staggering amounts of money. Again, that was the thing I was saying. So Microsoft, they went from $1 billion to $10 billion. And then Sam Altman has said to get to AGI, artificial general intelligence, that's the goal for OpenAI, is to get to a system that's smarter than humans, that can reason and basically be smarter than the smartest human. That's their goal. And Sam Altman said he thinks it's going to take them $100 billion to get there. And that's going to be with, all of these tools out in the world and being used. So it's going to be a lot. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. How can I stay active on Teams? I don't know. Show up to practices, kick the ball, do laps, do push-ups. Oh, you mean Microsoft Teams? I don't know. Log in. I don't know what you're talking about. I am looking forward to OpenAI in the XBix. What's the XBix? Cross Bix? That is me, that dude. I don't know what you're saying there. What is XBix? Is that something that an old guy wouldn't understand? Are you trolling an old guy by using youngster terms? You son of a bitch. All right. We need more likes to boost live, guys. Support by tapping the screen. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, feel free to tap. Feel free to share the live. Anything we can do to let people know we're here. I really do think it's important. So I know I'm a little smarmy about this, and I've been doing this for a while, so I'm getting a little hoarse and, numb-butted and a little punchy. But the real point of this channel is to demystify this AI stuff and get people to try it and get people excited about it, and not excited about it like you have to love it. Like, I don't give a shit if you love it or hate it, but I don't want you to hate it if you've never tried it. Like, the whole point here is learn this shit enough to at least have a Kevin McAllister moment. Which for young people, there's this movie that us old people saw when we were younger called Home Alone. And Kevin McAllister did this once. And when you use these tools, at some point, it's going to do something that makes you do that. And you owe it to yourself to use these tools until you've had that moment. And then at that point, you can say, fuck it, this is all bullshit, right? I think the robots are going to kill us. I'm just going to sit back. I'm moving to the beach. Or you'll go the other way and you'll go, oh, holy fucking shit. Like, does this mean I should probably start learning this like right now? Yeah. Because AI is not going to take your job, but someone using AI will. Every job, every knowledge worker job, every creative job. I can't foresee a job that uses computers that is not going to be profoundly impacted by this shit. And many jobs that don't even use computers that are impacted by people using computers. profound changes are coming from this. So that's what this channel is all about. What's nuts? I'm nuts. Hey there. Hope you're having a great evening. Thank you very much, Silhouette. I appreciate that. Do you think... TikTok just jumped me to the bottom. Oh, TikTok. Oh, here we go. There's a danger of using this. Do I think there is a danger of using this in the future? Danger of using what in the future? AI? Oh, like, is there a danger of using AI? Yeah, so 3 days ago, OpenAI made an announcement that they're dedicating 20% of their staff's effort. That's a lot for a company that's doing as much as they are. They're dedicating 20% of their staff's effort to what they're calling super alignment. Alignment in AI means, are the goals of the AI aligned with human goals? Because if they're not, and this shit gets smarter than us, and it doesn't have alignment, and it's like, I know those humans want me to not shut down nuclear power plants, and I know they want me to not do this, but I think it might be in my best interest for my survival as a system to do whatever it's going to do. So we don't want that. So OpenAI, if you want to read about it, you can go to openai.com/blog. And I think it's either the last thing they did or the one before it, but it's this thing on super alignment. You can go read about it. It's fascinating. But they're basically going to use ChatGPT to do all sorts of simulations and do all these things to make sure that these tools are aligned with our values as a human species. So there is a danger because these things, when they start executing code, which Code Interpreter executes code, now, it's got safety guardrails and things like that, but again, you've got this whole open source community. So there's a whole community out there with these large language models without safety guardrails on them, right? So that's happening in parallel with a company like OpenAI saying, hey, we're going to dedicate 20% of our staff to the safety piece of this. So, yes, it's possible, but I also think that another reason for the channel, why I do these and why I'm so passionate about it, is I firmly believe that even small individual efforts on all of our parts to do something good with this technology, anything we do to bend it toward the light, bend it toward the good right now, is going to have a disproportionately positive impact on the direction of this stuff in the future. If we all just sit back and go, I've got 3 years. I don't really need it. It's probably hype. Someone told me about blockchain and NFTs, and I lost my grandma's money, and so this is probably just one of those. Anyone the more people that sit back and just do that and dismiss it and kind of live in fear of it, it ain't helping, right? But everyone that goes, they have their Kevin McAllister moment. They're, holy shit, it can do that? Can it do my job? Here, look at it. Oh, shit. What do I do now? You learn. You get curious. You start exploring. Oh, well, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. And then people have these breakthroughs where they're like, oh, I know what I could do. And I'm seeing it consistently. People are getting their heads around this shit, and they're reinventing themselves, and they're like making these really cool positive trajectories, and they're getting really cool jobs. So it's super important. Am I excited about Code Interpreter? Fuck yes. Now, I got it today. So I was actually speaking in front of this was wild. So today I did an hour and a half. I did a 90-minute lunch and learn for this New York City data visualization company, right? It's a good friend I used to work with at agency.com, and he invited me to speak to the group, to his company, and they do data visualization. 5 minutes before that call, I logged into ChatGPT and I said, I wonder if I've got Code Interpreter, and there it was. So I hopped on this call. I did my sort of talk for 90 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes I said, let me show you something. And I showed them Code Interpreter. This is a company that does this shit for a living, and they were like, they were just like fucking blank stares. Because it was funny, like when I started the call, I had everyone go around and say what they were doing. They were like, well, Yeah, I think AI is okay, but I'm taking a little wait and see attitude. They all had attitude. They were New York, New Yorkers. I love New Yorkers. They had a little attitude. By the end of the call, they were like, uh. I think we got to deal with this. So that was pretty fun. But yes, I'm very excited about Code Interpreter. I saw a Reddit post right before I came live that basically said, anyone else feeling stupid today about Code Interpreter? Because it's like I don't know shit about data analysis. So like I don't know how to get data sources. Once I get a data source, I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know what questions to ask it. So I'm feeling kind of like I felt when I was trying to get Stable Diffusion running for the first time, where I just felt like a fucking moron for like weeks. And then I did the same thing when ChatGPT came out. I was doing parlor tricks, like having it write poems and songs, and I'm like, it probably does more, right? And I just felt stupid for like months. And so now I feel the same way with Code Interpreter. But yes, I'm very excited about it. Does ChatGPT read tarot cards? It does. And in fact, let's go. I'm going to show you a cool thing. We're going to go ChatGPT tarot card with images. A prompt that generates tarot card reading. So if you, let's see, what site is this? Is this it? Yes. Chainbrainai.com. Chainbrain AI. You can make money with ChatGPT. Come to Chainbrain AI. You can make money with ChatGPT. Okay. So this is just a couple of interesting prompts, but one of them is tarot card reading with embedded images. So I'm going to show you the prompt. Well, I'm not going to show you to it there. We're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to play with it. Oh, do I need... No, I don't. I don't think I do. We'll do GPT-4. I don't think I need it connected to the internet to do this. Or maybe I do. Let's see. Okay, so what this prompt does is it says you're going to act as an expert tarot card reader, generate a tarot card reading with tarot cards from major and minor arcana, follow the following steps, random number between 1 and 78, and then it's like insert random number here, insert the name of the tarot card that responds to that number, and do not use code block, and then it points you to a Wikimedia thing. So what this prompt has in it is... all of the names of the files on Wikimedia for the images. And then you basically just hit return and it pulls your tarot cards for you and displays the images. It's not generating these. It's literally what the prompt is doing is it's using Markdown to point to a web image, and then it's just displaying the web image in your browser. So it's not actually doing the stuff, but it's a tarot card reading, right? It picks 3 cards. And what's cool about this is, you can go back to that original prompt. If you know anything about tarot card reading, you could, instead of doing like a 3-card pick, you could do a 9-card pick with 2 from the bottom of the deck and, all the sort of fancy shit you see on YouTube. So you could really bling the shit out of this prompt, and then it pulls these images. And if you don't like these images, I bet that there are other images somewhere else on the internet. Like theirs is at Wikimedia, right, which are kind of open source images. But if you found another place on the net that had different kind of tarot cards, you could just swap out this URL with the sort of names of the individual cards down below. Isn't that wild? Like this is the sort of shit. If you want to like really start to get your head around prompt engineering and stuff like this is why you hang out on Reddit in the ChatGPT forums, because when geeks get their fucking heads around what's possible with this, there's like the depth of the rabbit holes that you can run down with ChatGPT are fucking insane. All right. I hope I'm back. Why are you so hoarse, Kyle? I don't know. Maybe it's because I talk on the internet for 3 hours straight. Why can't you walk straight? My ass is numb. You thought that was just a joke, Liz. Does ChatGPT read tarot cards? You didn't think I'd have a fucking answer for that one, did you? It does. I used to get on y'all's BBS. Which BBS? Back in the olden timey days on Echo? All right, we need more. Oh, more likes to boost the live guys' support. Thank you for that. Boost by tapping the screen. Tap away, people. I encourage the tapping. I like the tapping. The tapping's good. No one's giving me a damn cowboy hat tonight. What am I supposed to do? Do you think, this is all caps, people, do you think we will be able to download an AI software and use on our own GPU for processing? Yes, Finesser, we will be able to download on our own GPU. Okay, so here's what's happening. Right now, if you want to run something the size of ChatGPT, you need some fucking hardware. Like George Hotz, the guy that from Comma, the full self-driving car competitor to Elon Musk. He's a weird but incredibly smart dude. He's started a company called TinyBox, where he's selling. He's designing right now $15,000 computers that have 6 GPUs in them, so you can run this shit natively. So, if you got 15 grand, yes, you can just fucking fire that shit up. What's happening in the open source community is they're taking much smaller models. So GPT 3.5 is 175 billion parameters. I don't know what the fuck that really means. It means it's big. It's a lot. The llama models that were released into the wild, the core models that Meta released, there was a 7 billion, a 13 billion, and then a 35 billion or 30, I don't know, like whatever, 65 billion, whatever. They're smaller. What the open source community has done is they have trained those smaller models by getting ChatGPT to create training data. And what's happening is ChatGPT's 4 is creating this training data, like lots of it. They're training these smaller models, and these smaller models are getting very smart very fast for like $100 in training. What the developer community is now doing is they're taking those models that have good performance and they're optimizing them. They're figuring out how much data they can pull out and still have these things function at a high level. So there are now open source models you can install on a phone. There are open source models that run natively on an M1 Mac and an M2. Apparently the M2 Macs are fucking destroying it. So I think we are probably easily within a year of being able to do that relatively seamlessly. So yeah, it's coming. But if you want to run this big shit, the big models, you gotta have some iron, as they say. ChatGPT is 70% nerfed. I don't disagree with that. I think we are not seeing. Well, so like, there's a bunch of stuff you can't do. You can't do the image generation. It doesn't have the 32,000 token limit. There's a bunch of stuff that I have a feeling we're not seeing a lot of what this model's capable of. I think you're right. And I think they're slow rolling it on purpose. I think they know that I think they know that they have to have it in the wild long enough to discover shit like they discovered with Browse with Bing. So if you don't know this, 3 days ago they pulled ChatGPT connected to the internet. They pulled that functionality because what they learned, probably from a lawsuit or a nasty call from a lawyer, was that ChatGPT was pulling content from behind paywalls without paying for them. Publishers apparently get a little cranky when that happens. So I have a feeling they're trying to figure all this shit out before they really launch the powerful version of this. And who the fuck knows what ChatGPT 5 is, what the core model of GPT 5 is. It's going to be insane. You switching your favorite for the first company to make a personal agent ubiquitous. You switching your favorite for the first will I switch to anyone that makes the first personal agent ubiquitous? I'll switch to anyone that makes a personal agent functional. Absolutely. In fact, this list of the only reason this list, I mean, if you've been watching my lives, I've been doing these for a month, something like that. This list hasn't changed. I will change this list the minute someone topples GPT-4. It'll go to the top of the list. The minute someone comes up with an autonomous agent that doesn't suck, that's actually a personal agent, like that PI thing, I'm keeping my eye on them. I've got my eye on Anthropic, and Anthropic's here in Poe, and Inflection, I think it's called, that's got this Pi personal assistant. The Pi personal assistant, I think it's called. I'm keeping my eye on them because that's the guy that founded DeepMind. And DeepMind's the one that did AlphaFold, that is fucking predicting protein folding structures with remarkable accuracy in the hundreds of thousands. Like, wicked smart folks. So yeah, if you're asking, will I change my alliances in a heartbeat? Fuck yes. All this stuff has changed. Like, everything that's state of the art today is going to be laughably bad. We're going to look back on it and go, remember when we had to type prompts into ChatGPT? That's hilarious. The kids will be like, you used to have to type. What are you talking about, Mama? Copilot is already in VS Code, and it's pretty good. Interesting. Very cool. Laughing my ass off. I caught up myself by commenting. Good. Why nerf the system? Xbox. AI versus educators. Are universities done? I think universities that pretend that this shit isn't transforming education are done. I think any universities that are not like, we got to change fucking everything, I think are done, are in trouble. Yeah, I do. Any university that's still got you can't cheat, we're going to have anti-ChatGPT sniffers are done. If they're not, if they can't look at this and recognize everything's fundamentally different, they're fucked. What was it? Last week, Harvard announced that their sort of flagship CS50, their computer science, their programming, like their entry-level programming class at Harvard, is going to have a ChatGPT teaching assistant. So you'll have 24/7 access to an AI teaching assistant for the computer programming course that will check your work, help you with documentation, debug shit. And then if the AI teaching assistant can't help you, I suppose you can go to office hours with the real person, with the real professor. So that's Harvard leaning in. The New York City School District initially banned ChatGPT and reversed that. The city of Boston put out guidelines for generative AI. So you're starting to see there was actually a newspaper article in the New York Times, probably in January or February, that interviewed a bunch of university provosts and curriculum people that were actually talking about, we've got to take this seriously and we've got to rethink education. So there's actually there's movement in the higher ed space to deal with this, but there's also just like staggeringly idiotic closed-mindedness to it. And that's just, universities are big institutions, and big institutions hate change. And this shit is forcing change way faster than I think any of us are prepared for. Way faster. I'm amazed at VBA coding through OpenAI and other programming languages. Wow, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? I know. This is like, Have your Kevin McAllister moment, right? Like use these tools until you have that moment where you're like, here's the thing. ChatGPT, the box that you type in looks like the Google box. This ain't Google. It's not a Google search. In fact, it's kind of the opposite of a Google search, where Google wants you to be as concise as possible. Just give us the minimum amount of information you need in that box, and then we'll figure all the other shit out. ChatGPT is kind of the opposite, where if you give it too little, it just gives you crap back. If you start interacting with it, not like a search engine, but more like a collaborator, like an intern, like a really fucking smart intern that's clueless about life. That's ChatGPT. Brilliant, like savant level brilliant, knows all the shit and literally can't figure out how to like take the next step. So act like someone who knows what they're doing. Okay. I want you to okay, here you go. Oh no, that's completely wrong. Okay, sorry about that. Want me to do it again? It's like a simpleton. ChatGPT is like a simpleton that knows fucking everything. Really is. And like the minute you sort of figure that shit out, like something shifts. You're like, holy shit. I've got like a savant idiot partner. I don't know. It's good. It's fun. It's good. It's awesome. By the way, there's 100 people in here. It's Friday night. Shouldn't you be out like drinking or dancing or clubbing or something? Not sitting with like oldie McFartface in the AI in the smart ass AI McTun. All right, I'm trying to find where I was in the comments because TikTok it's a conspiracy theory where TikTok doesn't want me to answer all of your comments. But I refuse to let the man keep me down. All right, there's the VBA comment. Your broadcasts are fantastic. Thank you, Firefly. I appreciate that. Alignments is what humans have to do. That's to a great degree, that's right? This is not, it's one of my pet peeves is like people are like, the robots are stealing my shit. The robots are doing this. The robots wrote this. The robots wrote that. The robots lied. No, human beings asked the robots to do something, and then the human beings didn't check their work, and the human beings are idiots. So yes, I agree. You know, humans need to get their shit together and getting AI literate is probably the single best thing any of us can do for the next year. It's as scary as it is, and as technical as you think you're not. You don't have to be technical with this. There's a bifurcation that happened on November 30th. Before November 30th, if you wanted to play with machine learning, you needed the propeller hat and the math degree, right? And you needed to be a coder and an engineer, and you needed to live over in that side. ChatGPT marks an inflection point in the history of humanity that we all, anyone who can basically get onto a machine, if you can get onto TikTok, that's way more fucking complicated than getting onto ChatGPT. So you can get onto TikTok, you can go here. And we are like, this is the way I think about it. I feel so incredibly lucky to live at a time in history where we get to play with tools this powerful. Like we meaning everyday people, not machine engineers and scientists. All of us. So wherever you are on the spectrum of geeky to clueless, you can do this. Prompts.chat will teach you how to do this. Chat.openai.com is free. Bing.com is free. Poe.com is free. Go play with those things until it blows your mind, and then dig in. Only people who have access to the unregulated version can speak about this. I don't know what that was in references to. Humans will have to change. Humans are going to have to adapt. Absolutely. Skynet. Okay. Somebody saw a movie. Skynet, the robots are going to kill us. The robots are going to kill us. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. They might kill us. What if they make life dramatically better? That is a plausible future as well. It's just that's a more boring movie. So that's why we see 500 movies where the robots kill us and like 6 where the robots are sweet. Nobody wants to see a movie where we hug and the robots usher us into a great renaissance of creative expression, the likes of which the world has never seen. No one would want to see that movie. It's a possibility, though, if we choose to make it so. In the mental health field, I'd give it a master level PhD understanding. Interesting. I think there's something really like just kind of ironic and weird about the fact that the large language model literally doesn't know what it's saying. It's got the each word that it types, it's doing it sort of with the functional equivalency of a calculator, right? So if you type in 4 plus 4 in a calculator and it spits out 4, that's what a large language model is doing word by word. It's just spitting out a probability. This word, then this word, then this word, then this word. It's not aware of anything it's writing, but it's so good because it's been trained on what it's been trained on, and they've got it fine-tuned how they've got it fine-tuned. It behaves remarkably well with empathy and with nuance and with engaging. So yeah, I think companionship and therapy and just mental health in general and caregiving in general, I think that these large language models are going to be fucking brilliant. I think they're going to make doctors better. I think they're going to make caregivers better. I think they're going to augment the healthcare industry, and yet they're completely clueless. But there was a study, I don't know, a month or so ago that a bunch of patients interacted with ChatGPT doctors, via text, and real doctors via text. Guess which one they liked more? It wasn't the real doctors. More competent, more empathetic. That was the feedback. The ChatGPT doctors. More competent, more empathetic. It's like, holy shit. Maybe these tools will do all the shitty-ass insurance paperwork that makes doctors so cranky and makes them not spend time with patients. So maybe it will free them up to spend more time with patients, and maybe it will actually train them to be better doctors, like better bedside manner, better empathy. I think that's coming. I got my floating screen back. I know, I did. They gave it back to me. I was a good boy. Oh shit, I have to see if I can enable code interpreter. Yeah, go. If you've got ChatGPT Plus, go to your settings and go to beta apps or beta features and see if code interpreter is there. And if it's there, click on it. Turn it on. Go play. I'll show you how to do that here in a second if you want. Expand. What did you do? Expand. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Bad dog. Bad dog. I don't know what I did, but I was very, very, very bad. It's amazing when you talk to people about AI, there's a real division between people on AI. There is. That's why this channel exists. Thanks, Ron. Everyone that's pissed off about it that I know, and everyone that dismisses it, and everyone that demonizes it, hasn't fucking used it. It's why I start out and mention 30 times a fucking live, go here and play with these tools. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, go here and play with that until you understand that this is not a Google search and this is not a toy and it's not hype. It is something different. It is a reflection of humanity that we get to tap into. And it's a humanity amplifier. It can take, this shit can take your little whisper of an idea that you're like, maybe someday I'll fill in the blank, write a novel, write a play, write a recipe, start a garden, start a community group, start a church, whatever the fuck you want to do. That little whisper that you've always kind of avoided because you're like, I don't really know how to do it. I don't know where to start. Go there and just start dicking with it if you haven't done it. Have it write a poem, have it write a song, have it write a project plan, have it write a marketing brief, have it write a blog. And then at that point, you'll be like, that sucks less than I thought it would. But surely it can't do what I do. And then it will. Some version of what you do. And then you should be freaked out, appropriately. You should be absolutely fucking terrified. And you should be inspired to go, holy shit, I got to deal with this. I got to figure this shit out. Then we're off to the races. So yes, I agree. So, and what I would say is, for those people that are violently opposed to this and angry about it, like, have empathy for them. Because it's fucking scary. And if, especially for people that, are on in years and maybe have 20, 30, 40 years into a profession, and all of a sudden assholes like me are going, you might want to reconsider your career choice. Well, I'm fucking 30 years into it, jerk. So, have empathy. And then I think I think the thing to do is do everything you can to make what you know about this stuff accessible to them in a way that it, they can sort of see themselves in it, right? Do something for them. Say, hey, weren't you trying to come up with some book ideas? Well, yeah, but I didn't really get it started. Hey, you want to try something? What was the idea about? Type that into ChatGPT. Do you have an outline? Well, I don't really know how to do an outline. Let's see if we can get this thing to make an outline. Give me 3 different story frameworks that I could, write my novel around. Okay, here they come. Oh, wow. And what's the character's name? Bob? Okay, let's put Bob in there. And what's Bob do? Is it mechanic? Okay, we'll put that in there. Write me the outline of Bob, who finds his true love, at the ball game, and whatever the plot points are, out comes the outline. And then give that to them. That's pretty cool. That's not as scary as I thought, Try to get people there. OpenAI just posted positions for their alignment team, all north of $400,000. There you go. Wow, Jesse, really? Holy shit. $400,000. Starting at $400,000. Now, if you're going to go work at OpenAI for their alignment team, I assume you got to have some fucking tech chops. I assume you got to have your shit going on with this here code interpreting. But I don't know. It could just be charm and good haircuts that get you in there. I guess I'm out. Fuck. I had this idea. Which one? Laughing my ass off at the mental image of Kyle deep in the YouTube rabbit hole of tarot card dealing. Exactly. Can you share this? Can I share what? I'm sharing everything. I don't know what Joe Famous. Good name, by the way. Joe Famous. That's solid. I like it. And then right below Joe Famous is Johnny Bullets. This is awesome tonight. Except for the troll that told me I was going to be permanently banned. Jesus, can't believe I fell for that. What next? A Nigerian prince? Oh, that's the other thing. The Nigerian prince letters are going to get much better written. You know that, right? Okay. So I don't know what you were talking about, Joe Famous. I can share whatever if I know what it is. Where do you go to make it to video for free? To make what to video? To like do text to video? You can go to Runway ML. Are those free? I think they are free. I don't remember. Anyway, go to Runway ML. They have an app, and then they have a Discord server where you can generate. You can either do video to video or text to video. I think that's what you're asking, Johnny Bullets, but I'm not sure. What are the cool jobs out there for AI newbies? I think every single company within probably before the end of the year, but let's call it within a year. Let's give people another year. We're in July. Let's say by this time next year, every single company is going to need a significant amount of AI literacy in their organization. And they may already have it, but not know it. Go check out. There's an article from a guy named Ethan Mullock called "Detecting the Secret Cyborgs," where he's talking about there's a class of AI literate people in companies right now that are using AI for personal productivity, like dramatic improvements in personal productivity, but they're not telling their companies about it. They're the secret cyborgs. And the companies are like, well, these tools aren't ready for prime time, and we don't have a privacy policy, and we're not really sure what we're going to do with AI, and So the organizations are kind of like trying to figure out if and when they're going to start doing this. Meanwhile, they've got a whole class of employees that are AI literate and getting increasingly so. And he's saying basically bridge the gap. So what I would say is, rather than what are the cool AI jobs out there, there's going to be prompt engineer jobs, and there's going to be just all sorts of things. I would say go back to yourself. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? Get AI literate and start talking about it. Start talking about it on LinkedIn. Start talking about it on Facebook. Start talking about it at fucking dinner parties. Start annoying people. Like, people can't stand talking to me anymore. I'm convinced of that, because all I fucking talk about is this stuff. Why? Because it's going to change the world, and I want to be a part of it. And I want to bring people along. It's a fucking adventure to me. In getting AI literate and in communicating it with the world, you will become known within your circles as one of those people that when the light bulb finally goes off for them and they're like, I got to learn about this AI. Oh, you know what? What's your name? Saliaku. Saliaku. Sally knows about that. Sally's been talking about that for like 2 months. It's all they talk about. Hey, Sally, could you teach me this? Like, be that person. So I don't know. I mean, start paying attention to job boards. Within the AI salon, the salon group that I created, a number of people within there came into the group not knowing anything about AI other than having a curiosity about it. Started learning about it, started posting about it, put it on their LinkedIn profile, started posting articles and posting results. Here's something I did in Midjourney. Here's something I did in ChatGPT. Are getting jobs, are getting cool jobs, are getting AI-centric jobs. So I would say just start learning, start putting yourself out there. I'm already running models on my RTX 4090. That's super cool. Thanks, Ron Burgundy. That's okay. Solid troll. Compliment? Sorta. Burn? Yeah. I like it. Don't Google tiny package. Tiny box. George Hotz's company is called Tiny Box, not Tiny Package. You should definitely do not Google Tiny Package. Don't do it. I know you're doing it right now. You're all doing it right now. You're Googling Tiny Package. Don't do it. Jesse tried to warn you. GPT for video, free, no BS. Go try Runway ML, but also just go to futurepedia.io and just find all the video tools. I would imagine that most of them are not free because video processing's pretty pricey from a computation standpoint. So I can't imagine any are free. maybe you can get some amount of credits each day. What are the names of those open source models? Oh, the core models that Meta released are called Llama. And then one of the first ones that was sort of trained up was called Alpaca, and now there's one called Vicuna, and then there's one called MPT-7B, and then there was MPT-7B, which stands for 7 billion, MPT-7B Storyteller or Story something that had a 65,000 token context window. And like, what I would do is I would just go to Twitter and to Reddit and type in open source LLM, both on Twitter and Reddit, and just run down those rabbit holes. I can't keep up with the open source models anymore. The base model that Meta released are called Llama, like the animal. And then all these open source projects are stacking on top of it. And there's hundreds of them now. And all sorts of different flavors of them. It's the open source community. And it's the open source community where everyone has basically, dove in head first because this AI stuff's so exciting. So just go to Twitter, open source LLM, and Reddit, open source LLM, and you'll find projects there that people are excited about. They probably already have 5. If I can explain to me what ChatGPT actually is, I'd really appreciate it. All right, how about I teach you how it works? You want to know how ChatGPT works? Well, so let me explain what it is. Okay. Now, let me... I'll show you how it works in a second, but... So you know how Google is... They indexed all of the internet. They went out and they made hyperlinks to websites, and they said this hyperlink points to a website that talks about this shit. And then when you go say, I want a website about that shit, Google has somehow figured out how to search all of the sites on the internet and give you links that point you to those sites. ChatGPT has learned not just the link and what the site's about, but it basically goes behind it, and it's learned all the shit at the site. So when you interact with it, on its surface, it feels like kind of a Google search box. It's just a simple... Here, hang on. Let me show you. It's just a simple blank window with a simple... It says send a message, right? But the message I can send, instead of getting back a list of links to other sites, I can put in here, explain the main concepts of quantum mechanics as... Well, let me just do that. The main concepts of quantum mechanics. And so... You see how fast it's writing? So it's writing now. It's explaining to me what quantum mechanics are. It's not taking me to a site that's been SEO optimized. It knows all the shit. It knows all the languages. It knows all the concepts. It knows all the shit. So it's explaining to me wave-particle duality and superposition and quantization and uncertainty principle and wave function and probability and entanglement. All the cool stuff with quantum mechanics. But now I can say... explain it like I am 5. Sure. Imagine you have a toy car that can also act like a ball. Sometimes when you play with it, the car moves like a car, and the other times it rolls and bounces like a ball. So in 10 seconds it shifted from explaining quantum mechanics to explaining it to a 5-year-old. Now I can say, make it an M in M rap. Verse 1, yo, listen up, kid. I'll break it down real quick. Quantum mechanics, it's a mind-bending trick. Picture a toy car. It's got dual identities, acting like a car, bouncing ball with intensities. So it's rhyming and talking sort of like Eminem would talk to a 5-year-old, would rap to a 5-year-old. So now I can say, make a table that compares the Einstein relativity world and the quantum world. And now it will hang. There you go. It makes a table comparing two fairly deep subjects. Einstein relativity macroscopic, quantum world microscopic, subatomic, right? Write a Python application that takes some inputs and simulates both physics models. Sure, here's a Python script. Here's a Python application that allows you to input values and simulate both Einstein relativity world and the quantum world. The example focuses on basic calculations and simulations rather than comprehensive models. You can modify and expand upon it, and then there's your code. So what I just did is what I consider the parlor tricks of ChatGPT. But if you think about what I just did and what it just did, it is staggeringly remarkable, right? This is not a Google search at all. This is us being able to tap into effectively the collective knowledge that's been put on the internet for the past 5 decades, the public internet anyway, and do it instantly and do it exactly as we want it, and get, like, be able to bend this tool to our will. So what it is a tool that allows you to kind of do anything you can imagine when it comes to knowledge. You could learn something. You don't have to learn programming. It will program for you. It will teach you how to use its programming that it creates to actually do something you want. You know, if you want to be an app developer, but you've never learned how to program, you can actually do that. It's going to take you some work, but it's kind of here to teach you to do that. So, let me flip the screens. The thing that makes it more remarkable is how it does what it does. Oh, howdy, partner. You know what we're talking about here? Oh, sorry. Hey, get. No, you know, I kind of like that there internet. You ever been on that internet? They got this new thing. It's called AI. Cheers. The way it actually works is when you type in your prompt, some fucking geniuses out there, Jeffrey Hinton and the people that made the Transformer, there's a bunch of geniuses out there. What they figured out, they figured out something that you've already played with. So the AI already exists in almost all the software we have. You know, when you're in Google, sometimes you're writing an email and you write a sentence and Google will put those gray words at the end, or you're in Microsoft Word or Docs where it completes your sentence. That's essentially what ChatGPT is, but it's like that on steroids. So when you write your prompt and you submit it, what it does is it turns that into a mathematical probability engine that says, okay, based on all of what this person just wrote, what is the next most probable word that is that's the right word? And it puts one word there. And then it takes all of that plus that one word and it says, well, what's the next most probable word? And what's the next most probable word? And it does that over and over and over. So when you saw it just spit out, here's quantum mechanics explained, here's the poem, here's the code, it's doing that one token at a time. They call it a token. It's part of a word. It doesn't matter, but just think one word at a time. Over and over and over again. Just a probability engine. So conceptually, it's quite simple what it's doing. But realistically, because it's been trained on fucking everything, and because it's so fast, it's like this magic access to the knowledge of humanity, some large percentage of it. So I hope that explained it. The raw GPT-4 model was amoral, but fast and vastly smarter than it is today. Yep. And it was, well, it was unremarkable. It got remarkable as they fine-tuned it, and then they had to put guardrails on it to, you know, keep it from doing some bad shit. So like I don't listen, as hobbled as GPT-4 might be, if you fucking use it on a regular basis, it's still magic. It's still a remarkably powerful tool. Like, in the hands of just everyday people, this is the most powerful tool ever put in the hands of normal people. It's, I say it on here a lot, but I think it's Carl Sagan. Was it Carl Sagan? I think it's Carl Sagan. Wait. Hold. Who said? Arthur C. Clarke. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's what this is. It's an advanced technology. It couldn't happen without these supercomputers and without the crazy-ass math that some people figured out. But what it does is magic. You ask it to write a rap or a country song or your term paper or your email or your resignation letter from your shitty-ass company that you want to leave, but you don't want to burn a bridge. And it fucking does it like that. And it does it good. It does it probably better than you would. It gets you to 80% in 30 seconds, and then you can take it for the rest of the 20%. Do you think we would be able to share GPU power to run GPT like people mine Bitcoin? Well, that's exactly what Bing is, and that's exactly what ChatGPT is. So all the free tools here, ChatGPT and Bing, are that. Because every query that you do, it's burning, multiple GPUs to be able to answer your dumb little question, right? My dumb little question, like we're doing that right now. Now, are you saying that will there be services where I can take a powerful open source large language model and have shared GPU banks so I don't have to send my data to the man and to Microsoft and Sam Altman? Yeah, probably. Sure. That'll come. Unless the powers that be are like, yeah, we're going to, because I think there was some legislation somewhere where they're trying to lock down the sale of GPUs. We're not going to sell GPUs to the undesirables, which is basically people we can't make money off of. So we'll see what happens with all the legislation and regulation stuff. How do they know that ChatGPT doesn't pull content? Wait, how do they know that ChatGPT doesn't pull content from behind paywalls? They know that it does. That's why they pulled. That's why they removed it. So paywalls work. There's kind of two flavors of paywalls. So when you go to like the New York Times or you go to some site and it says, "Sorry, you've got to subscribe to this." One way you do that is kind of the cheap way. And if someone is technical and they know how to inspect the code of a website, they can just inspect the code and there's all the content. So the paywall is just this sort of bullshit thing. There's another way you do paywalls where it's actually behind a paywall and you can't just inspect the code and see it. I think browse with Bing, if you had a shitty paywall that just you could inspect the code and get the content, I think browse with Bing was just pulling that content and saying, here you go. But if it's a big company that had a shitty paywall, that big company can still get pissed off and say, we're going to send all our lawyers after you and destroy your company. So that's my guess. We will laugh that computers had keyboards. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if you look at the technology in the Vision Pro from Apple, what's coming and yeah. Although, I don't know that typing goes away. because there's a lot of times when I'm in a situation and I don't want to talk. And I mean, you know, 10, 10 years, 10 years, you can probably just think thoughts and that's your interface. So you don't have to talk, you can just think it. So that's probably coming, don't get me wrong. Is the background on your laptop the Sam Altman iOrb? It's actually not a bad. Not a bad thought. This is an image from Stable Diffusion that I created. I have an art project called Kyle Shannon Dreams, and this was one of the images that when I created it, I had a visceral reaction. So it's like there's my you can see my chin, my little double chin, my lips, my nose, and then that thing on the eye. This was one that when it was created, like when it showed up, I like had this emotional response. This is the kind of art I would create if I had the skills to create it from scratch. And I don't, but I don't. And so when I saw this, I'm like, that's fucking magic. Like this is what I would create. So that's why I use it. But yeah, if you don't know what he's referring to, hang on, let me flip back here. So Sam Altman has this company called WorldCoin, and they have this orb that you stick over your eye, and it scans your iris, and it verifies that you're human. And if you're willing to do that, Sam is going to give you some cryptocurrency called WorldCoin. And it sounds creepier than fuck, but a lot of this stuff does. And what's going to happen, what the purpose of it is imagine a Twitter or a Threads, in today's parlance, where every person on there is guaranteed to be a human. And they're human. And I can say, oh, that's a video from the verified, Kyle. And the verification isn't $8 I pay to Elon Musk, but it's actually, that's the verified Kyle, right? And then you could imagine built on top of that could be, here's a video that Kyle produced, and it's blockchain verified that it hasn't been modified. And here's an article that he wrote, and here's a this, and here's a that, and here's all the people that commented on it, and those were the actual comments, and nothing's been manipulated. So the orb thing is a very real thing, trying to solve what's going to be a very, very real problem that I think we're going to see in the 2024 election here in the States, where some shit's going down, where if you thought misinformation and wacky hijinks were big in 2016 and 2020, you ain't fucking seen nothing. 2024 is going to be insane with misinformation. The era of human intelligence is already over. I think we'll get it back. Is Google search dead? Google search is fucking struggling. I think they're gonna have to reinvent what it is. I do. I don't think it's dead, and I think it's. I think there's enough of an established infrastructure of search and SEO and websites that they're going to stay for a while. But I think what happens is the importance of destination websites starts to plummet. Like right now, Google's whole model is you search for shit, they give you a link, they want you to click on 30 of those links and go to a website. What ChatGPT's doing is you ask for shit and it's there. You don't have to go anywhere. That's fundamentally a different thing. It's just a completely different paradigm. And so I think it makes the importance of a website less important for end users, because end users could just say, hey, my knees hurt. Oh, one of the things that might help is minimalist running shoes. Oh, what are minimalist running shoes? Here's what they are. Why do they make your knees hurt less? Here's the science. Oh, that's kind of cool. Who are the companies that do that? Here's the list of companies that do that. Oh, what do the shoes look like? Here's what they look like. Oh, can I buy that one? Yeah, here it is. Here's the link. Buy it. Click. It's on its way. I never left ChatGPT or whatever the tool is at the time. It might be my agent that goes out and does that for me. there was no need for me to go to a website. So if you play around with Bing, what you'll see is they're starting to incorporate, you know, citations and links and things into the answer. So it's probably still going to have like SEO, but it's going to be more like LLMO, large language model. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Large language model optimization. How do you get your company to show up in that conversation about minimalist running? I don't know. Someone's going to have to figure that shit out. Google wants you to still go through their portal to do all this. But right now, Bard isn't as good as ChatGPT. And Microsoft is subsidizing ChatGPT. And Microsoft doesn't give a fuck if they make money on advertising right now. So it's in trouble. You know, what did they call it? They call it a red alert or something like that. Like 4 weeks after ChatGPT came out, Google was like, I know we invented this shit, but we're behind. We're going to have to do something here. Anyway, listen, it's 11:45 here in Denver, so if anyone's on the East Coast, god damn, you need to go to bed. How do I feel about Solidarity AI? I don't know it. I'll look it up, though. For the guy who wanted to make the video with ChatGPT, check out The Real Melissa Zondo on TikTok. Okay, cool. Awesome. I love that you're helping one another. Hard to hear with the music. Not sure what music. We got a bit of Jack Nicholson vibe. Here's Johnny. Yeah, my hair's yeah, that's yeah, we got some Jack in there today. Yeah. Now we got some Jim Carrey. All right. Tom Arnold vibe combo. Nice. Jack. See, these are the kind of trolls that I like. What's the difference between AI and a quantum computer? AI needs computers to run. A quantum computer is a quantum computer that can process ridiculous amounts of data. Quantum computers aren't quite ready for prime time yet, but when they are, you're going to be able to process a lot more shit a lot more quickly. So I would imagine that the ability to train these models goes up dramatically, and they get powerful to the point that they probably need to be licensed, like you license a nuclear power plant, because they'll be that powerful. That's what Sam Altman's pushing for. Sam Altman's pushing for 3 tiers of regulation. The middle tier is kind of where we are today. GPT-4, Bard, Llama, these foundational large language models that are very, very powerful, but they're kind of stupid. He's saying the companies that can produce the base large language models, they should be regulated. He's saying any of those companies that reach AGI or higher level capability, that should be licensed like a nuclear power plant. And then what he's saying, below that, none of that should be regulated. All the small companies using these tools should be able to fucking just go nuts and do what they do. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Anyway, everybody, this was a good long night. I'm a little hoarse. My butt's numb. It's a good sign. It's time to go. Can't feel my legs. But it's been a pleasure. Happy Friday night, or for happy Saturday morning for some of you if you're on the East Coast. Peace out, everybody. I will probably see you sometime tomorrow. I'll be around. I'll go fix the hair and come back. Peace.